What's going on, everybody? Mortem here, this time bringing you a fun guide on how to find the toaster follower in Wasteland 3. Now, in addition to finding the toaster follower, the other reward you get for, solving this little puzzle, shall we say, is the best melee fighter armor in the game. So it beats the power armor, it beats the nuclear armor you get from the briefcase. It's hands down the best in terms of stats. Now, some armors will have abilities that make them useful in certain situations, whereas this set of armor only has stats that are better than any other strength-based armor, and strength-based armor is specifically for melee characters, either fist or just melee or blunt weapons, one of the three, shall we say. Jumping into it, what actually is this? So, in Wasteland 3, there is a toaster repair skill, which is simultaneously a bit of a joke, but also a very useful skill. So around the world, there are toasters you can find that need to be repaired. They give you Tarjan tokens, which can be turned into the Tarjan machine in the bazaar, which will actually give you a permanent perk the first time you do it, and then it'll give you incredibly strong buffs afterwards, after the first initial use. And those tokens are found specifically in the toasters you repair. You can also get some of the best food in the game from repairing toasters. You can get random items that wouldn't fit in a toaster, by the way. In addition to all those things, you can also find gold-plated toaster parts. Specifically, there are 5 of these parts that you can find. Now, the max skill you need to find all of them is 8. There are a couple of toasters that require toaster repair skill 10. However, all of the ones that have the gold-plated parts that we need only require up to a skill of 8 in toaster repair. So, getting right to it, the very first one we're going to find is more than likely in Lucia's house in Broadmoor Heights in Colorado Springs. In the Wesson residence, which our companion Lucia also happened to have lived at prior to the game, has been ransacked by the recent Dorsey attack. There's a toaster in there. Should you repair it, you will find a gold-plated toaster part. The rest of the pieces are all outside of Colorado Springs. The second one you are likely to find is at the Hoon Homestead. Now, the Hoon Homestead is actually involved in a time-sensitive, shall we say, quest, where if you don't save the Hoon family in time, the map of the Hoon Homestead gets permanently changed. Now, regardless of your stance on that quest, the toaster will still be there and accessible. So repair that toaster, and you will find another gold-plated toaster part. The third one you are likely to find is in the Painted Mines, which is part of a side quest. Once you get so far into the main story of Wasteland 3, you will be contacted via radio that some women have arrived at your Ranger HQ and are asking to talk to you about helping find some missing relatives. The context of that side quest is ultimately irrelevant, but it will lead you to the Painted Mines map. And on that map, through a either hidden path that you can find or through the cave where the quest takes place, there is a back entrance that will lead you around to fight some animals. And beyond those animals is a toaster repair next to like an abandoned RV type thing. And that toaster will also give you a gold-plated toaster part. Now, the fourth toaster part is going to be in Aspen. Now, Aspen is a location very much so involved in the main quest of Wasteland 3, and it involves an exterior map and an interior map. So the exterior map, which is where you first arrive at, should have your toaster, and once you repair it, you get a gold-plated toaster part like normal. But I do want to mention as a quick caveat, in the interior cell of Aspen, there is a vault containing a gold-plated hammer. I have seen some rumors that this hammer is required to complete the toaster. I don't think it is. I have seen absolutely nothing in this the quest or any of the text that says anything about this hammer. That gold-plated hammer that you can find in the vault in the interior map of Aspen is actually used to open a secret cupboard room that gives you a special weapon in that interior cell. Just to cover all my bases, on the interior map of the Aspen area, you can find a vault with a lockpick requirement of 10 in kind of the middle of the map. And you can either pick that lock or you can go find a servant who is trapped nearby who says he swallowed the key, and you can kill him and get the key and get into the vault that way. Inside that vault is a gold-plated hammer. So, as I mentioned, I don't think it's involved in the toaster quest, but just for the sake of mentioning it, there you go. The last toaster part we are likely to come across is found on the Knox Bison Ranch. This is not available until towards the end of the game. You have to have captured the first 2 of the Patriarch's children, and eventually you will be contacted via radio once you get nearby the area. I don't know exactly what triggers this, because I have found that if you go there directly after finishing Aspen, it doesn't always trigger. However, if you do some quests, it will usually trigger eventually. But once you get close enough to the Knox Bison Ranch, which is in the southeast part of the map, near where you go to find Liberty at. Liberty is the third of the Patriarch's children. But near that area, you'll find the Knox Bison Ranch. Once you complete the side quest in that area, you'll be able to freely explore. And once you can explore around, you can find the toaster that you need to repair to get the very last gold-plated toaster part. Now, once you have all 5 parts in your possession, dialogue will automatically kick in where it's like you found all of these gold toaster parts and they all fit together perfectly. And your character will assemble this golden toaster, and on the side of it will be coordinates for a toaster repair academy. And that will open it up on your map. So you go to your world map, navigate your way to the Toaster Repair Academy, and it is a very small map. There's not much to it. It's just a small entrance area and then the interior cell of a building. Once you find your way into the building, if you go up to the altar, which is kind of, central to the room, there will be a place to perfectly fit your newly reconstructed toaster down on. And doing so will spring it to life, and you will have found Courageous, the toaster companion. In addition to this, before I move on, I did mention there's also a set of armor. In a chest nearby, you can find the Verchitin armor. It is, as far as melee character armors go, the best. It has the biggest stats. As I mentioned, some other armors do have abilities that make them unique and perhaps more suited to certain situations. However, in terms of raw stats, this is the best set of armor for that particular playstyle. Now, let's talk about Courageous, the Toaster Companion. So doing this will have netted you the Toaster Expert achievement, but also, Courageous is a tremendous follower. So he doesn't count against your party limit, he's not player controlled, he takes his turn on the friendly turn like all of your other followers. So, Courageous will shoot toast, ironically enough, at enemies for moderate amounts of burn damage. However, every couple of turns he will activate a mortar ability, and it hits like an absolute truck. Like if enemies get hit by that, they're going to take like 4,000 or 5,000 damage easy. So he's very good, he does very good damage, but probably the thing that makes Courageous one of the best followers in the game, he does not take damage. He's immune to all forms of damage. Any enemy attacking Courageous has effectively wasted their turn because Courageous can't be damaged, which is what makes him probably the best follower in the game, to be honest, despite the fact that he is literally a toaster. That kind of humorous stuff out of the way, guys, there you go. There is the Toaster Expert achievement, how to get Courageous, as well as the location of the best melee armor in the game. Thank you so much for watching. May you wander in wisdom, and have an amazing day.